That's another day, another batch of videos from me. Before I start, I'll just say I could be bitchy and say this is aimed at the last guy who commented me, but to be perfectly honest, it was just the first clean shirt that I could grab. But this is my opinion of him. Um, for this first one, I had a bit of an epiphany, if you want to call it that, while I was at work, and I thought I could actually use this channel to actually do something useful for myself. Um, Previously, surprise, surprise for those of you who know me, I have been in therapy. I went 10 weeks voluntarily, and I noticed because I was going somewhere every week, I was doing something I had someone to sort of report to, even though it's supposed to be like a personal thing, etc. I noticed I put more effort into things. So, with that in mind, I have a bit of a huge, what I'd refer to as a pile of shame uh, term coined, I believe, on the One Up podcast. I don't know which one it started on, but I listen to a few of them, fewer these days. But basically, just like games, DVDs, etc., that I've bought, but I haven't properly gotten around to yet. And I've tried over the years various methods to try and whittle these down. Many have been sold, got rid of that I know I'm never going to really get around to. But I'm still left with a ungodly amount of ones that I really should get around to rather than keeping buying new stuff. So I thought I would use this to, at least attempt to every week, probably Friday, Saturday, get round to at least one DVD, which I will then make a video to give my opinion on, and what one game. Obviously, the game ones might go. It'll be more like an update thing because some of the games, especially for instance Persona games, I know they take ballpark 70 to 100 hours, so there's no way I'm going to play all of that in 1 week and then get to the next game. But the idea is to watch at least one movie every week, get round pouring a decent amount of time into a game, and ballpark for that is 3-4 weeks, having definitely done with it. Hopefully a bit faster than that, otherwise I'm going to be making these for years upon years to get through the pile. But my selections are sort of cheating for the first time round, but it is with a purpose. So, first DVD I'm going to be watching is one that I picked up on a whim. I seem to do this quite a lot, but it was like £2-3, and it looked interesting. It's Blood Trails. I believe it's a horror movie. I have absolutely no idea what it's about. It just kind of looked interesting. I didn't even read the back, to be perfectly honest. I just picked it up because it was cheap and it looked interesting. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I prefer to go into things a bit blind, like I did with, for instance, the Need for Speed game. Like I said, I hadn't played any of that series before. It's been a few years since I've played that kind of racing game. Didn't know what to expect, and I think I got perhaps more enjoyment than I would have, even if I didn't like it completely. Well, yeah. And game wise, I have actually played and completed this a couple of times, but it's leading up to the sequel. When I play a game series, I like to try and go through them in sequence. So I want to start with Yakuza because it's Yakuza 2, the one that I haven't actually properly played. I've owned it for over a year. I played it for maybe 2 hours, and then it was the Christmas season, so I had like 5 other games that suddenly joined the collection, and it soon got forgotten about. So I'm going to try and play through this one, and then the next game will obviously be Yakuza 2, which will be new, but since it follows on story-wise, I think it takes place like a year after the first one finishes. Uh, uh, well, I'll actually be in the mood and in the Yakuza world, so it should be interesting, and fingers crossed this actually works, because I'll ballpark figure I have like 60 DVDs to get through, and probably, if not more, games. And there's also books, but I'm never going to get around to those anyway, so I'm not even going to bother trying to. They'll just be there for my retirement, perhaps in 40 years' time, or well, actually, rate the comedy and everything else, more like 60 years' time when I'm in my 80s, if I can still read. So yes, that is the plan. That is the challenge I've set myself, and I've got one last day at work tomorrow, so perhaps on Friday I might actually have the Blood Trails video up. So until then, at least on that subject, that's me done.